You want to give us an example? We have a bit of time. An example of the big one that feels so terrible?
Sure. Say I'm at work and the boss comes in and I'm doing a great job and she doesn't care because she's kind of down here on the scale.
She doesn't care. Who cares if she cares or not? Isn't your relationship with your good job between you and you? How could she possibly know? She doesn't know who you are. She doesn't know why you were born. She doesn't even know why you chose this job. She doesn't even know who she is. So why could it possibly matter to you if she doesn't care if you're doing a good job? Are you doing it for her accolades?
Not at all.
Oh, really? We're teasing you not. You said, I'm doing a great job, I'm feeling really great, and then when she comes in, she doesn't even care that I'm doing a great job. I'm taking it hard. You must care what she thinks. Our question to you is, why? Is she wearing a sign that says, I'm your inner being, you should care what I think? Why do you care? She got power over you?
This is the boss.
She's the boss. She's got power over you. But if she doesn't care, do you think you're really in trouble? She doesn't care.
Well, she cares.
Oh, so she cares. So tell us the story again then.
I don't realize how I said it.
You said, I'm at work and I'm doing a really good job, and the boss comes in and she doesn't notice that I'm doing a good job because she doesn't care.
Well, she doesn't. She wants to criticize. That's what I'm saying. She likes to criticize people. So it triggers my own critical thoughts, or it reminds me of my own critical thoughts. And then I get caught in it, and I go, "Oh no!" All the years of thinking that way come in that second.
So when that happens, see, like right now, it's not happening. We're just talking about it happening. So it's not as acute right now, is it? So the idea of someone whose habit is to be critical, criticizing you, doesn't mean much, does it? That's just how she is. You see, you're giving us this perfect opportunity to say what we say over and over again. You got to not care what other people are thinking. But you see, what you're getting at is really important conversation, because what you're getting at is you have been doing it to each other. You've trained each other to calibrate to each other. And in the process, you haven't calibrated to your inner being. So you're not standing in confidence of who you are, because you've been calibrating to what that one thinks and what that one thinks and what that one thinks is what conditional love is. Calibrated is a strong word here, but have you ever really sucked up to somebody? Have you really calibrated to someone, really wanting them to like you, jumped through all their hoops, only to find them changing the rules or looking over there, or for them to be replaced with someone else who has a whole different way of looking at things? So all of that calibration was to something not steady. And that's really what we're getting at. If you feel that negative emotion and you say, oh, I know what this means. This means I'm calibrating to you, who I'm telling myself doesn't care, to make myself feel better, but in the long run, that's not really helpful. I'm calibrating to you rather than to my inner being, and my inner being in this moment is not in agreement with you, who you're criticizing, or with me, who's criticizing me because you're criticizing me, or me, who's criticizing you because you're criticizing me. My inner being is not down with any of this criticizing, and so I'm using you and what I think of you and what I think you think of me as my reason to not calibrate to my inner being. Maybe that's what, if Abraham were standing in my physical shoes, they would be working on. So then you don't say something like, you don't care about what I do. You're not that dumb. You get fired on the spot. You don't roll your eyes. You don't pretend like you don't care. You just sit there and let her have whatever internal fit she's having, if she's really interested enough to have a fit. And you say to yourself, this does not feel very good to me. I think when I get a moment, I'm going to think about this, because I really don't want all of my hopes and dreams and happiness in the moment to depend upon what somebody who's not paying attention to any of that is doing. We've been saying to you, it's like you create this long list of things that you need from people. Let's start with bosses. I'm going to need you to respect me, and I'm going to need you to expect talent that I haven't even showed you yet. I'm going to need you to pay me a lot of money, even if you don't think I deserve it yet. I'm going to need you to give me every opportunity that looks good to me and spare me the jobs that aren't fun. I'm going to need you to smile more. I don't like red lipstick. I like short skirts, but not too short. And I need you to be professional at all times in the office. And I need you to be nice to everybody. In other words, you'd be perfect if you were just different. I need you to be different than you are. And so you make your list, and then you walk through the world. They're going to conform. And if you need those things from them, we were having fun with most of it, but if you need those things from them, you're screwed. You're going to have a rough ride every step of the way, because the world is not going to conform to you. They might fake it for a while, because in church they learned this, and in school about that they learned that. In schmooze school they learned that. Yeah. But nobody knows what they're doing when they're trying to calibrate to each other. And then you just end up a group of people that are confused about what's the right way to live. Most of you criticizing how everybody else is doing it, when it is so simple to live a little bit of life and launch a rocket of desire and realize, hey, I'm not in alignment with my own desire. Granted, my desire was just born, but I'm not in alignment with it. Furthermore, my inner being must be, because for me to have negative emotion must mean that my inner being is looking at this differently. If you could just make it that simple, and then instead of making lists for the world, hey world, when you see me, I'm going to need this from you. Instead, it doesn't matter what you're getting from them, because they're irrelevant, because their ability to focus upon you has nothing to do with the calibration that does matter. Your leverage, your power exists in your alignment with your source, with your flow, with everything that you are, and everything else is irrelevant. Really, really irrelevant. Do you want to get along with people? Sure you do. You want to get along with people, but at what cost? At the cost of thinking that they're right when they're not calibrated to their inner being, and so they're seeing flaws in you or in others instead of love. Most people have calibrated to most people who are on the bottom half of the scale when they are calibrating to them. And then you wonder why you're not feeling good in your own shoes. We call it, in simple terms, looking for love in all the wrong places, you see. But what trips you up, sometimes, you meet someone who's tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and they hold you as their object of attention, and you are uplifted by that. You feel fulfilled by that. You feel smarter and surer and more confident and more stable. And then you think, there must be more like that out there. I think I'll go find them. And you think your parents should be that. They owe it to you. You think your boss should be that. They owe it to you. And most of all, you think your lover should be like that. They owe it to you, or your best friend. And the thing is, nobody owes it to you. You owe it to you to calibrate to your inner being. So when you're calibrated to your own inner being, and you are doing a good job and you know it, and you're feeling satisfied, law of attraction just keeps that going. You've primed the pump, and now you're trending that way. Your boss might be jealous. Your boss might be confused. Your boss might be way off in the woods. But you won't feel discord from wherever she is. You won't feel discord because you didn't hang your star on her. You didn't calibrate to her. You calibrated to something that's steady, and you'll be there and you'll be steady for the moment in time, rare as it may be, when she joins you there. She might rarely join you there. She might often join you there, but you're certainly not going to freak out because she's not there. And you know what? We're talking to all of you. When you stop freaking out because somebody else is not there, you'll stop freaking out when you're not there. But as long as you're freaking out when they're not in calibration with their inner being, then you're not in calibration with your inner being, and you're still going to freak out. Yeah?
Yeah.
We enjoyed this a lot.
Me too.
Good time for a segment of refreshment.